everyone, welcome to Frappe School. This is the final chapter in our advanced accounting course. My name is Lynette Sherin, and by the end of this chapter, we will be able to explore how we can configure various tax withholding categories and learn their advantages. Taxes are one of the most important sources of income for the government. Hence, they have to frame a system that ensures most of the transactions has taxation applied to it. One way to ensure taxation is applied is to enforce collection from the party which doesn't have an incentive to steal taxes. Hence, when a purchase is made, a supplier will be booking an income and pay taxes on that earning. What government does is, it asks us as a customer buying that item to deduct the income tax amount from the payment to our supplier. This works better as it allows us to take input credit later when it's our turn to pay taxes. And the chances of our supplier stealing taxes is minimized by the government. Tax withholding category is often referred to as TDS, especially in India. This feature allows you to categorize our supplier into a specific tax category based on the type of goods and services offered. Also, define the percentage of tax to deduct based on the value of the transaction. To set up a TDS account, we will have to navigate from the Awesome bar to the chart of accounts. Here, let's create an account under the current liabilities. Let's create a tax withholding category by navigating to it from the Awesome bar. Enter a name for the new category which we will be creating. Checking the round off tax amount will round off the tax amount to the nearest integer. Next, if we check the Consider Entire Party Ledger Amount, even invoices with applied tax withholding unchecked will be considered for checking cumulative threshold breach. Lastly, when only deduct tax on excess amount is checked, the tax will be withheld only for an amount exceeding the cumulative threshold. Enter a tax withholding rate against the fiscal year. Here, we can set the threshold for a single invoice or the sum of all invoices, that is, cumulative transactions. Select an account against your company to which tax will be credited. Add more companies and accounts as needed. For Indian users, we bootstrap host of tax withholding categories based on TDS categories specific by the government. Let's create a purchase invoice to see how we can apply tax withholding. Open a new purchase invoice and add the basic details. Now, if the supplier has the tax withholding field set, then upon selecting that supplier, a checkbox will become visible in the purchase invoice to select whether to apply tax or not. Let's create an invoice for 90,000. Saving the invoice automatically calculates tax and appends it to the taxes table. To see the effect of the cumulative threshold, let's create another invoice with amount 20,000 and submit it. Now, here we can see that although the invoice amount didn't cross the single threshold, tax has been charged. This is because the previous and the current invoice add up to surpass the cumulative threshold that was set. Hence, tax based on rate provided in the tax withholding category is applied accordingly. There are two reports that can be generated. The first one is TDS payable monthly and the second is TDS computational summary. The difference between the two is that in TDS payable monthly, we can see the transaction and reference details of the bill. This brings us to the end of our advanced accounting course. I hope this helped you understand how we configure TDS in ERPNext. You can read more about ERPNext on docs.erpnext.com. Thank you.